Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. This is Errors. We are going towards the lovely bridge we made last time, and I'm finishing off a whole amount of detailing just around it, making it so it just looks a little bit more professional. And I thought I would just show you the last part of it. If I can get this fence in nicely, about... Come on, just do it. Come on. It's been very particular. That'll do. And let's do finish. And then if I do it in finish mode, I can actually just do that. All right. Yeah, so this is my little handiwork for the last couple of minutes. Made this big wheat field, put some trees around it, a little bit of underbrush. And I finished it off by just doing this little fence. And I think it looks fantastic. Actually, I'm going to let the gameplay play. This is the bridge we made last time. And it goes towards the town of Lone Stone, and that's actually what our focus is going to be today. We are going to get a cargo station made and finish off the route that we did. The goal is, with that train, you can see it was just passenger network across to over here, but we have nowhere for the cargo to come in. And so, yeah, that is the focus today. I really like how this has turned out. I think this bridge is pretty good, even though it's kind of a bit wonky. There's a bit more to the left than I'd like. But I think this whole area looks fantastic. And just doing a simple wheat field here is has been worked out quite well. You know what? I probably can make another wheat field on this side, but I was thinking actually of mixing it up and just doing cows and sheep and stuff like that. But that will be later. We'll do a detailing episode for around there. But yeah, off the point there. We've got all this lovely cargo stuff, and what we want to do is get a train to come through, pick up all this stuff, transfer it, and then deliver it over to Lone Stone. So yeah, let's work out where this is going to go. I actually have not really planned this. There's a couple of things I know that need to happen, is particularly these lines here are going to be the main north-south tracks up there. And the cargo train is going to have to merge onto it. My thinking is maybe we need to turn left and put the station here, and then they can eventually merge, because we are kind of to the right-hand side of the map, so it will merge probably this way through the center. So it kind of makes sense to put the cargo station there. We could try bringing the cargo traffic up and over, and then putting it over here instead and go over these lines, because one side's going to have to go over. But saying that, I don't think we're going to have much industry down this corner. Or if we are, maybe we can merge it by coming up and around and down, so like go that way into the station. The option is to run it at this level. We can actually have a little elevated area here, or we could try ground level. Let's start with ground level, see how it goes, and then go from there. So what I think I might do is let all these trains come in. We'll make this a little bit of a pinch point, and then we'll merge this way. So let's use the system's 90-degree thing, and we'll come in flat, and we'll assume that this area here is the same level as everything else. I think it is. And from a speed point of view, let's do 60. This is the inner, so it's going to be the slowest. So 90 degrees, and that should be a perfect 90-degree corner, I believe. And we'll get another one right there next to it. And I don't think we're going to need to go this way, because I highly doubt we'd go like straight across there because of all the track work. It just wouldn't be very safe. So I think we can ignore that. Well, in theory, that means that this is parallel to that, and to me that does look pretty parallel. I think I got it pretty good. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll come round, and then that will need to have an X on it, and then we'll have a pretty big station. So yeah, let's get something down. I assume what we need to do, make this pretty big strength. Actually, I'm going to get this point here and drag it all around. I think that is basically what we need to do. I think I'm going to cut my losses here and let's just depaint all of this. Strength, bigger brush please. And this wheat field finally has met its demise. It's alright, we'll make lots more wheat fields. And we probably should get rid of this temporarily. And do the same thing from a height point of view. And give ourselves a nice clean slate. So yeah, so we'll need a merge up here. So over here, probably the central actually, something around there. Let's get the station down. So I'm just going to go cargo, and it's going to be just probably the vanilla one. Yeah, let's do the vanilla one. How many tracks? Well, it's going to be 320. And if we do 4, it's a little bit overkill. I don't think we're going to need that much because, yeah, we'll do 6, I guess. Is that too much? Do I want these to be in the center? Probably not. I think these are going to be the left-hand ones. So I think that's it. I think that's what's going to be. And then I'm going to modify this and get rid of all this vanilla stuff. So yeah, I'm going to delete a lot of these. Let me play with this for a while. We'll use the cargo shed asset and put in some interesting things and put in some platforms that are just vanilla. And yeah, let me play with this for a little bit and we'll see what I turn up with. All right, we're making some pretty good progress. I like how it's turned out. There's a train coming along. I went for a really open approach, so the idea is that the goods can easily flow in and across the platform. The same thing happened over here when I did this one over here. If we press X on here, I gave it a little bit more space everywhere. Now the goal here isn't to give extra capacity. The goal is just to give a more sense of a diorama, more sense of assets. What I will do, I think, is put a whole lot of boxes and stuff hanging around in places where the game is not putting things that way. Once we've got stuff going, we'll work that out. I want to do something over here because these are going to be the end of the line for these two, unless I let one go up and over, which I don't think there's enough space. I'm pretty sure if I want to get up and over here, 1, 2, yeah, it's not even close to being what it needs to be. So yeah, these are going to be end of the line. So what I might do is extend these tracks a little bit. Oh, actually, there's just a platform maybe. I do love these half platforms. They look fantastic, and I think it really sets it off. I think if we get this massive one, yeah, we can do that. And I like the idea that that track is a little bit more, it's got that thing on the side. The graphic there isn't the same type, but that's okay. And yeah, we can add probably maybe a little one. Yeah, that all fits nicely. Actually, can we get another big one? I don't think we can. We can. It just sticks out a bit. I think, yeah, I think a smaller one. I don't think the smallest one. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty good. And yeah, it just lines up nicely. And I don't know whether I want to put one more platform at the end here. I don't think it's necessary. But yeah, I like that. And then what I do want to do is make it so it's easier to get across the tracks. So I'm gonna, on those ones and say these ones, I'm gonna use a mod that gives me some additional platforms. Where is it? Is it under cargo shed? No. What's it under? I do have one. Here we go. This one's. Yeah, what I want to do is make it so I can cross with, this thing, so people can roll things across. And I want to have a fair few of these. So there's no reason over there because people can walk around the edge. And then, yeah, maybe one more setup here. might look good. Yeah, I think around there. That way people don't have to walk more than a couple of 100 meters to get across the track. I mean, I do want to make it so that it's kind of, I don't know what realistic is the word for it, but, you know, plausible that people are carting stuff across. I mean, we have to explain how all this stuff is getting off and on the platforms. Now, normally I assume it would come off the end is the more predominant way of doing it. But you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Let's keep on doing the cargo side of this and get down some platforms. I'm going to go same as last time. Let's go with 2 standard low. We'll go, what do we want here? Town dark? Yeah, I'm not sure what the road surface I want is. And I'm not seeing tendrils, so we're going to turn high capacity tendrils or turn lighting on. And you can have signs. And it's going to have no fence. And it's going to be asphalt, yes. So then we can squeeze that thing, set it on the right hand side, we get a tendril, which makes it work. And I'm going to put in 2 of those. Please stop trying to dock. And what I might have to do is make it a little bit shorter so it doesn't want to do that. And there is no tendril. Okay, there's tendriling to each other. But I think once we put the roads in, that will fix that. And then, yeah, let's get the city road in. I suppose we should use road that isn't suitable for houses to join. And that can go there, and then you can come out straight, and that should do us okay. And then we have to work out how this road's going to work. Oh, I didn't realize we were so... What I should do is maybe put these on the outside of the road, or we probably can get away with just one. Oh, the whole thing's a little bit more across than I'd wanted. Maybe I should put all this stuff on this side. I think that might be the trick. Because I would like this road here to, that's the dev mode thing. I would like that road to exist. And so that is this one. Let's get this down to grade. Yeah, that should be fine. And then do I want to find something that's tiny to go on the end there? Probably not, it sticks out a little bit too much. And yeah, you know what I might do though is put a platform on it so that, yeah, we'll put a half and a full. That way it's symmetrical to that side. Cool, and then the question is, does that give us enough space for a road? Hopefully it will. So we'll put down one of these guys right there. And hopefully we can go past. And I'm trying to line this up right on that straight. And then, okay. And then in theory that should work pretty good. And we may have found our place for our depot at the end here. Yeah, that should work well. So let's try that. So if we change this to that, and then what we need is, let's use the narrow ones. And what's my width going to be? Go a little bit longer, and I'll fix the road. And then we can actually come in on this side. We can come in at 45 degrees. Oop, do I have a... I don't have the number I want. I wanted something where I could bring that left one in at an angle. But that looks pretty good to my eyes. And then we can just do that, maybe. Or maybe we need to make the tendrils longer. So we can say to this, hey, can you please have 20... 30 meter ones. Let's see if we can make that work. Come on. They may be a little bit too long. I think we might need to be 25. Yeah, I think that works. That works pretty good. And then if we make these one-way roads, that may actually give us the ability to... Yeah, I think that looks slightly better. Maybe we only need one lane. No, we want more of a texture, don't we? But yeah, come in, come out. That'd be kind of cool. It gives us a bit of a diorama near the track. And we probably can have another one somewhere, as in we can have another depot if we need it. But for now, that can go there. Sometimes these are a bit wonky. If I do that, will it help? And you know what? I think for now, that is pretty good. I'm going to hold down Shift to force the paint of all that dirt area. I didn't mean... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do all that. Make it all consistent. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's get a train rolling. Actually, what we should do is we should get the delivery around town. Otherwise, the train won't have any reason to exist. So I don't know if the town has many drop-off spots. It has this one, which is the bread coming over from the mill. What needs to happen is that needs to get moved to come over here. Then it comes over by train instead. So yeah, let's establish a cargo delivery route. The buses are going clockwise, so we want an anti-clockwise approach to this so that the two vehicles don't interfere with each other. So let's have a drop off there, and we'll probably go along this road so we can go there. Actually, it's going to be this opposite the bus probably. And then we'll come back probably, yeah, you know what, where the buses are actually works quite well. There's a reason why I tend to do it that way. And I think, are we getting coverage in the middle? So this one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. I might put one more just there. And then we can make a new line that goes from our new spot right here. Well, that's a terrible color. Let's go. I'm going to use this red color again because it's about to disappear. Red color, if I click the right thing. And yeah, let's start adding stops. That one, this one's going to disappear. And around town. And I got the wrong one on that high street. I think I must have, there we go. And that should be it. They don't cross each other. Everything is good. And then this thing here is going to be Lodestone Cargo. And we're good to go. And yeah, so let's get some new trucks. We'll put them on there. Buy cargo. We'll just go, I guess. I do like these sours, so let's go that, and then we'll go 10. I actually don't know how many we need for this line, and there we go. So we should name that line. So line 1, come here, and this is going to be delivery in Lodestone. So risky. This is going to become a massive requirement because if we look at Lodestone, overall it wants a lot of stuff. And so it's going to have, what's that, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 500, 600 more deliveries around town. So that's going to be busy, busy, busy. And at some point, we probably will make a road across here and deliver over here. Maybe it's a same loop or a different loop. All right, so that means we now can make the line between, probably we can start here. And so from Lodestone Cargo, and this is going to be a Great Western Railway run system. So the previous one, the passenger line is dark green. So let's give this one a light green. And they're going to come over to here. And they are going to go to platform 3, which is that one on the left-hand side. And we'll give them an alternate of 2. Everything is not working, but we'll find out why. And then eventually what will happen is, much like the passengers, they'll go off in that direction. This is going to be called the Train Cargo Great Western Railway. And I think I might rename this one to Train Passenger Great Western Railway. And this is the train. This is to the other one. Train Passenger Smallfield. Smallfield's down the bottom right hand corner, so it's going to be the Great Eastern Railway. Eastern. And yeah, all right. So we should get stuff on the line. Actually, we should get the line working first. So cannot connect all stations. So why is that? So let's do a little bit of sleuthing. So we definitely can get into here. What I should do is give this a cross. That way, if it comes in this way and comes to this platform, it can come out and go out. This is a one-way signal, correct? Which it should be. And so that definitely is correct. It's probably something to do with this end. I think we just didn't put an X on it. So this definitely can come through. This is definitely forward. This signal here is a problem. So this signal needs to be back here. Signals, one way, yes. You will go there and you will go there. And then in here, we need to have a cross. So I'm going to use this one to go that way. So we'll try to go pretty fast. 47's all right. And then this is going to come out. That thing's going to be too close. And then you can come out to here. And then we'll have to squeeze in a thing here. I think I might squeeze this in by using actually a... how am I going to do this? Yeah, so I suppose I could just put it here. It's just very, very close. I was hoping maybe to put it in the air. I think I might do that actually. So we'll put that one there and we'll put this one. Actually, if we put a massive gantry in, we probably can get like across all four. We probably can line it up so that that works well. So let's get a big gantry in. It's going to be at least probably 5. And then we're going to dock it to over there. And can we get away with a 4? No, it was hitting the track over here. And so that can go there. And then we can put a signal, this one right there. And you are a one way, you are one way, yes and yes. This can be deleted. And as we can see, there's a signal going for the train that's coming through. That's pretty good. And then when they come in, I think I might signal them which way they're going, but this will just be waypoint signals. And we'll put that one there and that one there, so people when they're coming in, they know which platform they are going to. We get a gantry on that because it's, yeah, one of these, 1 and that goes there. So that will tell them whether they're going to go into the left or right platform. And then when they leave, we'll do the same thing. Hopefully we'll use a waypoint. And then that can go right there and right there. Now, I'm not using signals because I don't want the train to move forward and stop. So the train, say, is up to here. I don't want to move here and then stop because it just looks ugly when it does that. So that's the idea behind that. This is going to be a 2B. Do I need the spans? Looks like I do. Yeah, so I don't need the right span though. So that can go there. So yeah, that will trigger when they can leave. This tells them whether they're going to go left or right. They're always going to be on the left-hand side here. And away they go. All right, so cannot connect stations. So my guess is that it's just a platform problem. So over here, we want you to go into, say, 6 by default. And you have an alternate of 5. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually go into 5 by default. and alternate the 6. So it's going to come across. And I think we have the Great Western Railway cargo and passenger services. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. I think from a naming point of view, I'm actually going to... Do I want to go train Great Western Railway cargo, Great Western Railway passenger? The thing is, you do want the cargoes next to each other when you're doing searches. So as much as I would like to put the GWR and the GER on the front, I think I'm going to keep it that way around. All right, let's buy a train. We've been using the depot down south. Do we want to add a depot to this environment? Because it would be kind of obvious to put one around here somewhere. Yeah. You know, for now, I'm just going to get it from... You know what? I was going to get it from over here. There's one that we've been using the whole save game. Do I want to use this? Oh, let's just use this. I think I didn't really want to make it so that this guy is like the builders for the entire map, but it is just so much fun to use it. Let's do it by tractive effort. Yeah, and then we'll get something semi down the bottom. I do like a good prairie, but I think I want to go with something with a tender for once. I'm a little bit worried about the money side, so let's probably do this one. Hopefully, yeah, 96 is kind of where we're aiming for. I think, can we go up to the star? 96. So 4.2 mil, 2.2. Yeah, this is way cheaper. So let's go with one of these, and then cargo. That's going to be interesting. So at least we're going to have to do food. So there's definitely going to be some wagons. Let's go for these guys. So let's go for some goods wagons. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is pretty varied, so it does this quite well. So let's put a whole lot of these on it as well. And yeah, we'll use that to start us off, I guess. And how much was that? Oh, $10 million. Lucky we've got 180 million in the bank. Let's change our focus. Where are we? So that line is in view, so the light green. And hence why we get the light green. That's because this eye icon is done. Same thing goes with here. If I turn the icon here, it reduces this list to what can be seen. But yeah, let's assign it to there. And we'll jump across back to the shed because we've got to watch it coming out. New train, everybody. A 2251. I don't think I used one of those in the Great Western Railway series. I've got a feeling this actually might be a new train to us. Leverage looks awesome. The green is a little bit shiny, but that's okay. And now we come onto the main line. It's a lovely, what's that, a 060? Yeah. That tender is so close. Look at the way that the footplate joins. That is awesome. You know, some of these models are just so well made. And how about our Great Western carriages? Yeah, they look pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad we went for the bigger ones. Kind of suggests a little bit more modern era. And these are at the back. You know what we should do? For the fun of it, let's manage this vehicle, edit it, and then I'm going to put on a brake wagon. So that's under any type, and then if I type brake, does it filter it down? It does. So there's that click bug. See, I clicked that, you heard it, but it didn't change it. I really hope that type of thing is fixed in the future. So yeah, this one looks like I think that one's the same leverage. I think the G and W are about the same size. So yeah, so that's kind of G and W. Yeah, I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same font size. Yeah, I should just track along. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we'll let this guy get across there. It's going to go down the track, around the corner. And as always, since I tend to do this every episode, when this guy comes over to the shared railroad bridge, we'll take a look-see as it comes across. Interesting timing, the passenger train went outbound just as our other guy has turned up. Glad we've got that passing track at the end of the line. It's hard to see. I am loving the wind mod. I don't know if you're seeing that, but the trees are moving. There's a fantastic mod. Just type wind into the workshop and you'll find it. And it adds all this slight rotation to the trees. And it just really does make it come to life. It gives a little bit more movement. You can see obviously the water moves, but it's also great seeing the trees move as well. If you put it into triple time, you can see that it actually moves faster, you know, in alignment with the speed. Here's our train. Once again, there's a plane. There's always a plane flying overhead. I can see it up there on the top right corner. Oh, loving it. Look at that smoke plume. That is huge. 2251 entering action. Cool looking train. Definitely take photos, people. That's definitely photo worthy. Love the SLR that guy has in the bottom right corner. Awesome. So let's follow this guy in. We may as well just have a ride with them. And we'll ride along. Loving all the power lines. Someone was asking in the comments, saying they couldn't find it. The trick is to search for the word power line as one word. I made the mistake as well, saying it was power space line. But if you search for that, it doesn't turn up. But yeah, if you look for the word power line, one word, in mod.io, not in the Steam Workshop, you'll find it, and then you can snap the wires to the track. I think I've probably made them a little bit too close to each other. The trick is that when you place them, you can snap it to the track, and what you do is you set the Y offset to +5 meters, and that means that it sticks out to the left and that you get a nice consistent spacing. But yeah, I love how the mod ecosystem has really given us the ability to really gain life to the world. I mean, these signals are a mod, the locos are a mod, the power lines are a mod. Yeah, even the bridges are a mod. All right, how does this look? Rounds to the left for the first time. A little bit tight, but that's okay. Signals are saying that we're going to go to the right hand side. Awesome. Pretty smooth. And then onto our new cargo station. Let's have a look at what it looks like. I think we made the train 160 meters or something, so it should fit easily on the 320. I am liking that. And welcome to Lone Stone. And off they go. So they'll go off to Ashford. Actually, we can watch those signals. You can see how the lovely waypoints have triggered. And once they get into this segment, we should see that this one triggers as well. So as soon as they go past that, try to get the nice angle here. Yeah, there you go. See? So once they pass that waypoint over there, it tells the game, hey, that's the time to reserve the block. And off it goes. I love seeing new trains. Love it, love it, love it. And so same thing goes over here. These waypoint signals give us this. You know what? I think I might change this one. So this one, in theory, you could go always without having to stop. So I can actually change that left one to be this type. And you know what? I probably can change them both, because this type of area would have signaling that the people would know whether whether it's safe to proceed. I'm trying to get one that's got the right offset. What I might do actually is redo both of these. Oh, that's all right. That's fine. And here's our passengers. What we do need is a signal box. I'm going to put one down right now. Assets, this thing here, and we'll make it pretty big. I'm going to dock it here, and let's go for a Great Western Railway. Do we want to go 10? Or do we want to go... Yeah, let's go 10. I'm going to make it pretty big. And fire buckets, no. Lamp, yes. Sigma, yes. Steam arrow, yes. I'm going to put that just there. And yeah, that kind of matches up with this whole area, and you know, reminds me that we need to definitely control the signals, because they'll be the people controlling the signals over there. And yeah, that works pretty good. So how is our train going? Let's jump on board and watch this go over our lovely bridges and viaducts mod, British bridges and viaduct mod. That's cool. Past our new landscaped wheat field here on the right hand side, with a whole lot of foliage and stuff under the ground. I like it, considering how barren and grassy it was at the start of the episode. You know, just a little bit of tree work, a little bit of underbrush. The fence does a lot. The fence definitely brings a lot of character. Semaphores are firing. Turns, we're going over here to the right. We're going 95, that's a good speed. And then all the way into the Ashford cargo the first time. And awesome. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to, while it's coming in, I'm going to give this another waypoint. I'm going to put a one right there, so that they know it's okay to come in. Same thing with this one, because this is either track. Actually, this one isn't either track. I should actually make it so it's either track. I'm going to put this in there, so that way the passenger service can use either platform. If we choose this, we can say, hey, manage the line at Ashford, please go to the left, but you may also go to the right if you need to. Cool. Do you have anything on board? You do not. And I assume everything is connected. And one thing we have forgot to do is actually redirect that bread traffic. So let's do that now. So currently out of here, this bread is going into the city and meeting all the demands. So let's manage this line and say, hey, from now on, you're actually going to come across to Ashford. Do we want to go to the left or the right? Well, that one's full, so you can see that there's at least one assigned to each platform. But this one does have spares. Let's use number 2 as a default with alternates of 1 and 3. And yeah, we'll drop that. That's going to clear out the system. But what will happen is this guy will start to route its bread that way. So it should go from here. It should still say Lionstone wants it. Yep. And it's on the station, and then it's going to go down the road now, across the bridge, into there, and then if we click on here, you can see that the station lights up, and from here we click on this, you can see that the station itself has the line on it, and then the line takes us over the bridge and into here, and then in theory, if we click on this, lots of dialogues, that lit up that white thing, so we know that's connected. And then from there, it goes around town, and Lionstone should be happy. So, with all that knowledge, we can delete that. Cool. That is pretty good progress, and yeah, do we have anything on the station yet? Obviously, those trucks have to drive from the bread factory over to here, so they probably haven't arrived yet. Are you one of those guys? No, you are not. Yeah, so most of them would have been, you know, driving over to London, so they were all over there. So yeah, we'll take a little while for it to turn up. All right, here's our first truck that's actually arrived with some bread. He has nothing on board. What I am going to do is I'm going to manage these vehicles and actually paint them a nice dark red. So that way we know that they're the bread ones and these blue ones are the deliveries around town. I'm going to make these a different color too. I'm going to make them a little bit darker. So yeah, I think that's a lovely color. So these deliver around town. The default platform is over here. And then the red ones, which is what all these are the bread guys who are defaulting to number 2. So yeah, they need to do a lap and bring some bread over. So let's wait for that to happen a little bit, and yeah, then we can watch it load onto the train. All right, success! Some bread's being delivered to the platform. Let's click on this quickly, and we can see that there is currently 12 bread on the platform, which will be these ones which has the fruit on it, and there's 8 packages as well. That's what these ones are. And so yeah, the bread has come from the farm over there, and the packages have actually come from the Ashford freight thing over here, where we've converted the bread, the paper, and the planks into goods. So there we have it, our very first load. We are tanking money, but that's all right. When we bought this, it was 188, and it's 193, so we should be okay. Capacity wise, barely touching the surface, and great to see all the semaphores and waypoints are doing their job. This guy will trigger once we pass the point, unless someone else is actually on the track. Oh, there it is. I assume this was one way. It was. This is one way as well. It was. I think I might change these to a gantry to finish off the episode. So let's have fun with that. These are going to be real signals, one way. And let's put it here. And then we'll use that to line up everything else. I'm going to get rid of that one and that one. Signals, gantry. And then I'm going to dock it to this side. And it's going to be a 5-y. Probably. Maybe a 4. Maybe a 4. If I put it closer. No, we want it over here. You know what I might do is just do 2s. So we'll put that one there and that one there. And then we'll put on real signals on here. And that looks much better, I think. And I will do the same thing here. And I'm going to bring this forward a bit more. Yeah, and we'll put this here. And I'm going to use waypoints here because I don't want to mess with stuff. And we'll need to change the gantry so it's the right width. And actually, this one was a signal, so it probably needs to be a signal. Yeah, because this can move up to here. We can do this. Not compatible. Yes, you are. You can be compatible if I delete you first. And there we go. So, get rid of that. And this guy is one way. That guy is one way. And yeah, we have a nice entrance flow into Ashford. So yeah, that will flag the main line through, and then they can squeeze up to there. So hopefully if they get up to there, someone else will come in behind them, and then they get flagged left or right, and that should be about it. Technically what I could do is I could move this to here and you change these to signals. It's one of the rare occasions, because when you're doing multi-platform, the last signal before the platform defines where it can go. So because if I wanted to go and do 1, 2, 3, 4, this would be the last signal you could have, because you can't have a signal after the point of a decision of the 4. But because this one's never going to be a stopping one, it's always meant to be a through track. What we could do is make these 2 signals. It will mean that the train will sit about there though. But you know what? In this case, I think it actually might look half decent. So let's get rid of that, that, and that. And we will work out where the signal lines up. And so straight will be that one, and then into the side will be that one. And then we can put one of these here. We'll use the square one. Dock on that side, it's going to need to be 3 wide, I think. And yeah, is that how I want to do this? I think so. And then we'll just realign this one. So this will be a real signal, and then the gantry doesn't really line up perfectly, so there's a ½ meter. If you look over here on the text, there's a ½ meter offset. So hopefully that should give us what we need to make it sit a little bit better. And there we go. So what will happen is the trains will clear this, come all the way forward, and then they will stop here, which hopefully will give us enough space behind to let a cargo train in. If they're waiting for, say, someone to come out through there. But yeah, that should work, but they get a flying through that way. They will never go forward on this right track, so it doesn't need a signal. And same thing with this, they will never be going forward on this track. And yeah, that works pretty well. And what we can do is use this as an opportunity to say, hey, by the way, from a waypoint point of view, be careful. The signal in front of you is going to be red. So if this is down, it means that this one's, the red's down, as in it's green. And so if this is up like this is basically saying, hey, by the way, the next signal is stop because I'm stop. So you should start slowing down for it. So this is the actual signal that stops things, but yeah, will indicate whether things come forward or not. You know what, a little bit of signaling stuff there at the end. I think that looks pretty good. I'm trying to go for a vibe that looks correct. We do need to put down a signaling box around here. I think I might put it here. And then for the steps, we'll go straight because it's a security problem. And we'll put that right there. Do I want the ground to be deformed like that? You are on the ground. And so I'm going to have to do some, rather than snapping it, I might 180 it and make it this way. And you can go right there. So yeah, that will control around here. I think I need to move it to the left a bit more. Just so that it's that signal there is more viewable, because you don't need to see it going forward. There's nothing to be blocked here, but we don't want to block this viewer sight to that. This thing has, this pretty doesn't have windows all around, but yeah, that looks pretty good. You know what? With the cargo train coming in, rushing in, and a whole lot of stuff on the platform. Actually, wow. Okay, how much is on the platform? How much is on it? How successful are we? Look at that! Whoa, there's like an 80-ish. We'll call it the end of the episode. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to press subscribe, comment, all that cool YouTube stuff. And I'm pretty sure next time we are going to be extending the line out of Ashford and giving the Great Western Railway cargo and passengers somewhere to go. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.